Hi, and welcome to this class on digital transformation. To get us started off, I want to introduce a model to you that's very close to my heart, and I think it will connect with you and resonate with you immediately as an entrepreneur. And I always like to say, in times of digital transformation, running a business feels like flying a plane and having to fix it at the same time. And what I mean by that is of course, you can't just ignore your existing business and go off into visions about building a digital business. So you have to keep on executing your existing business model with all the passion and energy that you've been putting in over the last years. And at the same time, and that's why I think when you're here and watching this video, you have to educate yourself about how you can become digital in your business, how you can leverage the digital megatrends to make your client offering stronger, reach more customers through digital, make more profit through digital, just become a more sustainable long-term business by leveraging digital transformation. And so I've put this in, as consultants, the excuse we'll always put everything in a 4-quadrant matrix, but I think it actually adds a lot of value to you. I'd like to just see where you put yourself in this little matrix. And it goes as follows. So I've got 2 axes. One is, to what extent are you fixing your plane? So how much time are you actually spending in your day, in your week, thinking about digital, thinking about what you need to do different in the future, what trends, in the Smash It formula, what social media, mobile, cloud, and etc. you can integrate into your business to make it stronger. And the other axis is what I call flying the plane. That's kind of your pilot mode, you're going full throttle with your team, executing, talking to clients, making those deals, biz dev, etc. So how much energy are you spending in your existing business? And of course, ideally in that matrix, and I think that's become very clear, you want to, of course, have a high energy in your existing business and, of course, get your head around all of the digital stuff. And that's what I call, being in full flight mode. So you know where you're going with digital, you're very clear on what things in digital are relevant to your business, what trends you can leverage, how you're going to do it, when you're going to do it, while continuing to run a strong business and building digital into your daily routines as you go along. That's the ideal world. That's where you want to be. That's where full energy and leveraging digital will happen. Now, unfortunately, and that's been true for myself, for many of my friends who run businesses, we're not always in this quadrant at the moment. It's just too dynamic. So I just want to point out there's a couple of positions where you could be potentially, and really want to talk you through those. Now, I've met some entrepreneurs over the last years who I put in this scared quadrant, and that means they see digital coming and they get scared, right? They immediately kind of stop halfway in their business, don't have enough energy anymore, don't address new clients, so they kind of reduce the energy here. And at the same time, they don't really know what they don't know. In other words, they're not going out and really learning and educating themselves about digital. They don't understand what Instagram can do for their business. They don't understand big data and how they actually could do something with all of the information they're gathering in the business already. So they're in the scared quadrant, and they're not getting out of here unless they do a number of things, right? Now, some people, and I'm meeting quite a bit of them on all of those digital congresses and new work meetings and all of the things where I get to speak as a keynote speaker. A lot of people are in this quadrant. I call them injured. You know why? Because they've kind of said, oh, everything's changing, it's dramatic, it's impacting my business, and they get scared to a certain extent, go less energy in their business, and they spend a lot of time in the clouds, in visions and thinking about digital and going down different paths of possible strategies they could develop in their businesses. So they're spending a lot of time fixing the plane, and they need to be damn careful that the plane's not going to crash because they're taking away too much energy in their business. So I think when you're here, clearly you need to now refocus and say, okay, I've understood a couple of things, and that's what I want to work with you. I want to give you frameworks and say, okay, actually, I know enough now about digital. I can start implementing some of those things. That's what I want to give you is some of those nuggets just to say, okay, you know what? Actually, I understand the things. I'm not scared. And I can take my business slowly but surely and drive up that curve and renew my energy in my business over the next months and just continue building a better and stronger business. And then there are some people that are up here, and I call it healthy. You know, they're running a business fully engaged in the day-to-day business as it's been over the last years. They're not spending a lot of time fixing the plane because maybe they haven't even noticed that they have a leak somewhere and it's not going to fly on for the next years like they're experiencing now. But in their mind, they're running a healthy business. They're profitable, they've got happy clients and so on, but they tend to ignore what's going on around them and they tend to ignore the digital megatrends. So those are the businesses who are going to go, you know, really dropping that plane at one point in time when other people come with digitized solution for the same offering, etc. So I think you really need, when you're here and you think you have a strong business but you're not spending a lot of time thinking about digital, I urge you to just take that little bit of time out of your daily business schedule. And I know it's busy, and I know we've got a lot to do with, you know, servicing our clients and winning more business and making more turnover and making our teams happy and managing people. But you need to take some of that time out of your schedule as an entrepreneur and, you know, spend some time fixing the plane. Because I'm sure that, you know, even if it's not threatening your business, it could pose, you know, could be a tremendous opportunity for you to make it even a lot better business by just taking social media and getting the latest trends there and implementing it, or by just going mobile with some of your offerings and your communication with clients, etc., etc. So to get into full flight mode, I think depending on where you are, and I'm sure as I speak about this model, you will have a gut feel of whether you're actually down here, maybe to a certain extent, maybe just here on the border, still executing a profitable and good operation. You feel like, some of all of this that the media and that what I'm reading and the YouTube videos that I'm seeing about digital, don't make me feel very comfortable. So you may well be here, or you may be over there, spending a lot of time on the internet. You know, if you watch every episode of Gary Vee and every video that's around on digital marketing, that's great. So you may be fully educated, but if you're not doing it, I tell you, then you're not in full flight mode, so you gotta get going. So that's the model I'd like to introduce. And really, we are, you know, very passionate about helping you turn digital education into something that you can actually take, leverage in small steps to ensure that you're full flight mode, so you're executing your business whilst you're integrating digital aspects. And that's why you're here on the course.